Currently, there has been a lot of demand in the aeronautics sector, which proposed a new challenge for the different schools and institutions responsible for training professionals in this field. Therefore, face-to-face and practical class are essential for the performance that has been affected by the current pandemic. The Politécnico Grancolombiano has stood out for its use of virtual education. Taking this into account, the Politécnico and his airline students have faced together a new challenge, going to face-to-face mode to virtual mode. Thus, is intended to analyze and narrate from the perspective of students, teachers, and other members of the academic area, such as their academic performance, their teaching methods through different digital platforms.
According to the global coronavirus pandemic, we have asked ourselves the following question regarding education, which is: what solutions have been implemented before the virtual classes, and how the practices of the students, the tutoring sector of the Politécnico Grancolombiano with the current global pandemic?
Politécnico Grancolombiano has shown great concern to their students about the situation that the country and the world are living. They have taken many measures so that their students continue virtually. Scholarships, student discounts are benefits that the university has provided students so that they can continue with their studies. However, the methodology of the virtual classes has affected their students emotionally and psychologically due to the change that has occurred. On the other hand, the practices have affected for the students who are in the last semester of the career because they cannot carry out the corresponding work at the airport and forced to postpone and delay their academic process. This is why Politécnico Grancolombiano has provided their students with technological platforms to reduce the impact, and they continue with their academic process, trying to maintain all their activities according to the schedule.
Like how the Politécnico Grancolombiano University has taken different solutions fit with the face-to-face classes, and how this affects the practices of tourists and airline students by the actual global pandemic. First, sponsor points the different opinions of the tourists and airline students fit with the contingency that the university has taken global coronavirus pandemic. Second, interpret the answer of the tourists and airline students to the change of face-to-face classes, virtual classes, having in account the quality of them.
The COVID-19 is a disease infection and is part of a family of respiratory viruses, and the education sector has been affected notably. The schools and universities passed their presential class to virtual class. The Politécnico Grancolombiano stopped the practice of some careers, for example, technology in services, management of airlines. This pandemic has had many impacts. One of them is the virtual education. All the institutions have a new modality virtual to teach. And for this, the world is becoming a new change for the education.
In the midst of this pandemic, it has been affected by the levels of education. In this case, reference will be made to higher education that has suffered not only worldwide but also national. It has been possible to demonstrate the inequity at the time of participating in the virtual classes that were previously face-to-face, and not only for public universities but also for private universities. The Grancolombiano Polytechnic took into account some suggestions to start the period 2022, clarifying that the education face-to-face virtual has a totally different methodology than one a virtual education is ready. Because in this the students they have to research the theme of the class beforehand and are autonomous from their learning process. Some of the students were affected by this change and they did not have the necessary tool available, so the university gave state students the loan of laptop. Also provide internet cards with mega browsing and by Ultima had a discount on enrollments, and this suit that the students not to postpone of semester and they can continue to study.
In the following image, we can see that the majority of students are not very satisfied with the virtual class. All the way, 83.3% of have no problems with the Teams platform. The next image, you can visualize the quality of opinion about the teacher methodology, whether it is a favorable or unfavorable. The next, 100% of the students who carried out these survey thinks that the modality of virtual class have affected emotionally. The next, if the virtual class will continue, 38.9% of the students will postpone the semester, and 61.1% will continue, even if it was virtual, taking into account the subject and the semester.
It can be seen that 61.1% of the students who carried out the survey are not satisfied with the virtual classes. The 83.3% of the students feel they had an improvement on average with virtual education. It can be seen that some students do not believe that the university has taken sufficient measures in the midst of the pandemic. On the other hand, 44.4% believe that they have. Most of the students' opinions emphasize the bad signal and the difficulties they experience when using the Teams platform. It can be seen that 72.2% of the students do not consider that the university will implement strategies to make the subject more playful.
The aeronautics sector has suffered a great impact because of the COVID-19, bringing significant losses to the industry and also affecting some of the airline students of the Politécnico Grancolombiano who were carrying out their internship process. However, the future of the sector is promising, which is encouraging for many. Throughout this formative research project, it was evident that the Politécnico Grancolombiano stands out for having virtual class of quality and helping all its students of virtual or in person.